Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Water Visions, and today we're going to talk about King Khury of Wizet. And this is kind of delayed a little bit because I did get distracted with the quick pick matches. I meant to do this like about 2 weeks ago, but aside from the PvP event and work and stuff like that, I just got really distracted. But I'm doing this now, and I hope you enjoy. So King Khury here is an Ice Ranger at the cost of 50. His sub-jobs are Dragoon and Green Mage. On surface, this may seem like a weird combination to have, but when we go over his kit, you're going to see how beneficial these two sub-jobs can be with what they offer. But for those who don't know, Rangers are mid-guard strikers that uses bows as attacks, and they get more range the higher they are in the level. So you want to try to put King Khury into into maps that have height to them. That way he can gain an advantage and keeps him away from enemy unit attacks. Because I could tell you from experience, King Khury is squishy. He can get one shot pretty easily. Let's just look at his Trust Master real quick. This is something I'm going to try to do going forward because I haven't been doing it too much. But with the anniversary drawing near, we're going to get an update to the game via Ruin System. And the Ruin System's going to give Trust Master a new breath of life. They're pretty much a way to customize Trust Masters the way you want it to be. And King Khury's Trust Masters mainly tailored to him because he's the only Ice Ranger out there. There's other Rangers out there. Oh, there's Rosa. Rosa can utilize this as well, but she's limited. He's not. So if you don't have Rosa, he's probably the only option. And with the Ruin System, he's gonna most likely want to use this more. Depends on how you customize your bow. But the reason why I'm highlighting this is because it does give Ice Attack 15 and has a decent attack. So this does, for King Khury, offer him attack power that regular bows can offer the same as well. So it's just something to keep in mind. And then when we look at his stats, we're going to see that you want to try to keep him away from units because aside being squishy and weak to slash and magic, it's just not that great. He does have a positive in Pierce, which means you could put him against Pierce units, and he has a positive in Wind, so obviously you want to put him against Wind units as well. But I can tell you, even with these positives, he can get one shot pretty easily. He's meant to be in the back row. You don't want him near the opponents as much as you can. So just something to keep in mind that he has a weakness to the most common attack types. So if you're going to use him, keep him either high or keep him in the back. Now let's look at his master ability real quick. He gains additional HP by 15%, which again helps, but doesn't help too much. He's still squishy. I'm sorry. Playing with him often and testing now, he's squishy if he winds up in the front rows. So it's just something to keep in mind. Honestly, a lot of Rangers are squishy, but he's MR, so he's extra squishy. You don't want him in the front. So this HP doesn't really help too much. However, what does help is his AP acquisition modifier is plus 30%, and he starts with additional AP plus 10, which means he can dish out his barrage a little bit sooner than other Rangers, which is a total plus. On top of that, he's less reliant on AP restoration moves and Trust Masters, but having those on him it still benefits him. So you don't have to have it on him, but having it on him still helps because then that means he becomes more of an attacker, more of a barrage spammer. But you don't really have to rely on it. And that's what I like about King Khury versus other Rangers, because other Rangers heavily rely on it, while he kind of doesn't. Now looking at his kit, he has access to Poison Arrow, Charge, Mega Charge, and Shadow Bind as some standard Ranger attacks. And then his sub drop holds the infamous Sharpshoot, which helps against evasion units. Also has Supercharge, and the only TP skill that Rangers have, which lowers their elemental attack types and resistance, and gives them significant evasion just for one turn. Rangers are not evasive type units, so I feel like this is not a worthwhile TP skill to even level up. Plus, on top of that, at 20 TP, it's only going to generate you 10 AP. And if you look at Ranger moves, they're kind of expensive. Okay, maybe not those two, but the best move they have, which is Barrage, is at 38. Then you have Mega Charge, 28. Charge, 23. You see how expensive they can get. Even their Poison Arrow is at 22. So that extra 10 does not help at all. However, when you do upgrade Khury to EX120 job, you get access to another TP skill, which is Hunter's Distinction. This is a better TP skill for him to have, because it will raise him and allies around him attack, magic, and agility for 3 turns, which is a great buff for him to give to other party members. Because not only will it help him stay in the back, but it will also boost his own attack power and his teammates. And at 32 TP, you gain at least 16 AP out of it, which is way better. And I'm going to explain why this is also a good buff for him to have in a moment when we go to the supports. But the other upgrade he gets is to his Barrage, which turns into Frostmoth Barrage. It pretty much turns Barrage into a chance of giving Frostbite for 3 turns. Now, for those who don't know, Frostbite is in a status condition that when applied, your opponent, the person who's under that condition, cannot generate AP. This also blocks off AP restoration moves such as bells. So every turn that they have this status condition, bells will only generate 0 AP. So it really helps against those AP hungry type units. And each turn that passes, they lose more AP, a percentage of the AP every turn. So it's a really awesome move to for him to have as an upgrade, especially on Barrage, because Barrage is the most common used move in the game, especially for Rangers, because you're attacking at the distance, the range is huge, and the area effect of damage is huge as well. So this, if you upgrade King Khury, you want to have this max, because you're gonna want to use this move as often as possible in the match. And at 38 AP, this is why bells on King Khury is still something that he's gonna want, because then this allows you to just spam this move each turn. Now looking at his other sub jobs real quick, Dragoon offers Dragon's Roar, which is not bad if you want to try to lower bravery. Dragon Standard, which does help with his jump. It will get him to higher places. That way he has more of an advantage point. Horizontal's jump it's an alright move. I wish he had vertical jump. I think that would have been better. He has his normal jump, and he has Dragon's Kin, which helps bring his attack up. Now, pre-EX jobs, you would probably want to have him as a sub-job Dragoon for the extra attack type, and plus to take advantage of Dragon's Standard for him to gain more height, and Dragon's Kin for him to gain more attack power. However, with his EX upgrade and that Hunter's Distinction, you don't, unless you know you're facing units resistant to missile and you want another attack type, you're probably not going to be using Dragoon too much. Green Mage, the move wise, they all kind of suck. It's not worth having Green Mage because yes, you have access to D-Shell, Protect, Vitalize, and Dispel. You kind of don't want him getting too close to the enemies because then he's gonna get one shot. And even though some of these moves have some range, they're still a little bit too close for comfort. And his range passive does not buff the ranges of these moves. So it's something to keep in mind. So I wouldn't recommend having him as sub Green Mage. But there's a reason why he has Green Mage. And I'm going to explain right now. And that's this. Emerald Echo. Emerald Echo increases the duration of buffs and debuffs cast by self for 1 turn. So that means when we head back here to his Hunter's Distinction, that goes from 3 turns to 4 turns, and it applies to both himself and to whatever ally he hits this with. That's very huge. On top of that, Emerald Echo will work on any buffs. So this includes buffs from Trustmaster rewards, and there's a strategy that you can use for King Khury if you're trying to use them on flat maps, because when we look at his other supports, he kind of lacks something that other rangers have, and that's range passives. He has access to jump 1, which in itself is kind of a range passive, but it's useless if the map's flat. He has focus, which helps reduce activation time and raises missile attack, HP up. Doesn't really help much, honestly, but it's there. And then Savior's Protection. If you feel like you need to go against mages, this will help against the resistance. So you notice there's no range passive except for his upgraded support ability, which is Bale Hunt's Mastery. He gets +1 range and raises his accuracy. On top of that, the upgrade gives him more AP acquisition. So most other rangers like Fina, Frederica, just to name off the top of my head, have at least a +2 or +3 range to their kit. King Khury only has +1. This is because King Khury, again, specializes in height versus flat ground. Him starting with +2 range, and then if you're giving him jump +1, we'll give him start him off at +3. It's gonna help with his range, and if you do give him Dragoon sub job, his Dragon Standard, which he will cast, will last for 4 turns if you have Emerald Echo up, and that's gonna give him even more jump and move. So it'll turn into a +4 move, +4 jump. And on a map that has lots of height, you're probably going to want that. So it's something to keep in mind. Plus, when looking at some Trustmaster gear, equipment, there's 2 that come in mind. One I have, one I don't have. But if you ever got Laura Croft, her Trustmaster offers range +1. So with Emerald Echo, this would be for 4 turns instead of 3, and raises critical damage. So this is something that he could use. And then the other Trustmaster would be Summer Lilith's sunglasses, which offer +2 range for 1 turn, but Emerald Echo will turn that into 2 turns instead of 1. Both those Trustmasters are really good for King Khury to have, and don't know about Lilith's Trustmaster, but Laura's Trustmaster can be used twice, which really helps him out in gaining more AP. So it's something to just keep in mind if you're using him with other without his Trustmaster bow. Since we're on weapons right now, Cynthia's bow just came out recently. I don't have mine level up, but if you want to stack up the HP to make him a little bit less squishy, then it's something that might work out. I have to test it out once I get a +5 going, because for first 3 turns, getting the additional HP up might be beneficial. It just depends on the map, honestly. The other bow that you want to have is the Platinum Bow. Platinum Bow gives defense piercing, and it has decent attack power to it. I only have a +4, sadly, but +4 has been working a lot for me. Other notable equipment for Khury, Diamond Coat helps with his damage and gives him even more AP acquisition up, so additional 30% there. And if you're struggling with accuracy, which I don't think Khury has too much an issue with accuracy, even though he does have sharpshoot, you want to give him Alexandrite Ring. That helps out a lot. And that's pretty much it. Just like some examples of gear to give on him. So you can see that even though he lacks range passives, he makes up for that by having ways to either extend buffs that have range passives, or giving him even more jump, so that way he could get the range through height instead. His reactions, the only one you really care about is reflex, because he's squishy. He's not going to be able to take hits to gain HP back from this, or survive long enough to dispel their buffs. If you make it work though, then I say level these up. But honestly, reflex is going to be your best friend. I know we all hate reflex, but it's also just a good reaction ability to have. So in this section, I want to talk about the units I use for the upcoming matches, but I also want to talk about some Espers and Vision cards that King Khury can hold. So to start, let's start with the Espers. Odin's probably the best one for King Khury to hold, because Odin offers Man-Eater, attack power, slash resistance, all that's going to help King Khury do a little better on the battlefield. On top of that, has good agility, good luck for the accuracy, and yeah, it's really good Esper for any physical attacker, honestly. However, here are some other alternatives for King Khury to have. Tetrasilpha is also good with the luck, but she also offers missile attack in her kit, so it's something to keep in mind. However, if you don't have Tetrasilpha and got Chocobo instead, Chocobo might be even better, because Chocobo has at least 1 point higher in the luck department, and I think their agility is about the same, but Chocobo has something that Tetrasilpha doesn't, and that's even more missile attack in the node. So let's just ban this real quick. As you can see, missile attack here on the left and missile attack here on the bottom. On top of that, some attack nodes, Earth Eaters, slash resistance, critical hit. A lot of this helps out King Khury better. So this might be the second best Esper for King Khury to have. But some other options for King Khury, in my opinion, would be Golem. Now hear me out. I know Golem's more of on the defensive side of Espers, but Golem does offer some more defenses and pierce resistance to help King Khury survive a little bit. But on top of that, Golem has Man-Eater and Wind Eater. So if you're facing wind units, this is just gonna double your damage even more, while offering some ways to survive a little bit better. So it's just something to keep in mind when trying to build Espers of off elements. And then there's one more Esper. Let's see. That King Khury can utilize a bit. Let me see. Here we go. It's the MAX machine. This was from the Final Fantasy 15 collaboration. So maybe not a lot of people have this. But this can work if you're using King Khury in the Dragoon sub-job because it offers Pierce attack up. It also adds Ice attack up, which is going to power up all his moves. But on top of that, we still have the Wind Eater. We have slash resistance. And we have some critical hit and critical damage. All contribute to King Khury's damage. So that's something that he can have that's on element Ice Esper for him. So something to keep in mind. But Odin and Chocobo are probably the two major ones for him. As for cards, I find that Laswell's Frost Flower Flash card is perfect for King Khury. Offers agility up, offers AP acquisition up, and gives Man Eater. King Khury loves the Man Eater. And I'll show you why he loves the Man Eater with another card. But on top of this card also gives bestowed attack up for ice units. But sadly, doesn't give luck or defense piercing. That's only for Laswell. But the other card that I suggest for King Khury, if you have Laswell on the same team and Laswell's holding his own card, is one that's all the way down here. That it's a card that's universal, anyone could use, but it's tailored to King Khury, and that's his own card himself. Offers missile attack up for the party. So if you're paired up with other missile attackers, then this is great. And then King Khury himself could get Man Eater up. Now it's not as much as the Laswell card, but this is the card that says King Khury wants Man Eater. And on top of that, if King Khury is holding this, his accuracy is going to improve even more at the cost of Lesser Spirit, which can be a downside if your King Khury keeps moving into the line of fire. But if you keep your Khury in the back or in high places, you don't have to worry too much about that spirit down. And this card is great for limited cost events, so it's something to keep in mind. But if you're more into the UR cards, then this would be another good option for him to hold new type subjects. It still offers the missile attack up for any missile units you pair him up with. Also, it helps him survive a little better with the unit attack resistance. The strike resistance doesn't work for him. But bestowed is extra AP up. And if you stack in all this stacks with Laswell's party ability. Laswell's card's party ability. So Khury holding that card and Laswell holding this card, he's going to get 55% more AP. On top of his master ability and his support ability, you're not going to need bells if you stack all this up. So it's just something to keep in mind. Now for the team itself. Khury, I was trying something new out. I wanted to see how well he could use a goal without bells. And to compensate for the lack of AP generation that can occur, I gave him Fina's bow for the chance of charm. If you notice, my King Khury's at 97 fate. Honestly, he's squishy no matter what you do. So I decided to just up his fate for the increased chance of immobilization or poison arrow, and of course, frostbite. The higher the chance, the better you are in the fight, because the opponent's not going to generate too much AP out of it. So if you're the type person that wants to spam the frost barrage, you got to get your Khury to 97 fate. He's squishy no matter what you do. So having him at 30 fate, he'll still die to one hit. Maybe not one magic hit, but you get my point. it's more worth it just to have him at 97. Keep him in the back, have him barrage whenever he can't. So because I have him 97 Fate, I figure let me try him with Phoenix Bow. He's holding Prompto's wristband for more additional Man-Eater. And then he has the Diamond Coat for additional damage for anyone who's resistance to missile. And more AP acquisition. Odin and the card I already explained. So as you can see, he has 1000 attack with additional Man-Eater and ways to do damage. Merrier here is our tank. I have her built to try to resist as much as possible. 99% in magic because it's so easy to build her up for magic resistance and wind resistance. She's the perfect candidate for facing against Moore and Lil Leela. Something to keep in mind. And then I gave her she has some slash resistance and some missile resistance as well. But other than that, she's just there to tank and take hits. Nothing really special about it. She's holding her own card for more resistance and slash and wind. And Merrier helps with her slash attacks and gives her more magic resistance. I gave her Dario's Trustmaster just so she could do her attacks more often. Because it seems like a nice weapon for her to hold. Also, it gives magic stats, which is pretty nice. I could also change this for an accessory that helps her defense more. But I figured let me just give some magic so she could do a little bit of damage. POV 153 is for more unit attack resistance, so just to help her survive more. And then Knight's Armor just is going to increase her magic resistance even further. These can be swapped for more physical defenses if you decide to face physical teams. And that's an option. It would make her more of a balanced tank than leaning towards her benefit. And she should still function well. Just something to keep in mind. And then Rosa here, I have Rosa here as the white mage, but I wanted her to attack as well. Her AI is still something I'm trying to figure out, even with her upgrades, because she prioritizes being a white mage, so she's gonna want to heal more, which is fine. But I also wanted her to attack, because she does have access to, where is it? Right here, Ice Arrow, which lowers ice resistance for 3 turns, and that's gonna help out with King Khury's damage on top of her own damage, also. And she's kind of like a hybrid attacker. You could build it to be more of a physical attacker if you want, or you could build her to be more of a magic attacker if you want. She's very, very flexible, but her main AI focuses on healing, so that's kind of what she's gonna do on this map. She's gonna heal. So she's holding Merrier card for more magic resistance for the team and the ice attack up for the ice units, and gives her more HP. And then she's with Rommel Esper currently, but I might change that for future videos. I gave her Moore's more to Merrier's Trustmaster because I feel like this is such a good one to have, especially on your supporters. It gives Shell an additional crit evasion up. So putting this onto Merrier just makes her super duper tanky against magic attackers. So this is something to keep in mind. Titus Necklace for more magic resistance for herself, but also gives her some crit damage. And then she's holding the Elven Bow, which is a bow made for her, but Phoenix uses too. She has a +5 because the magic attack up. She has Holy in her kit, so that helps power that up. But yeah, other than that, this is the team. Now let's check out the battles and see how they go. Alright, our first match is against a win team. We got More to Merrier at level 115 we got Tifa, and we got Jueme. 3 different attack types, but they're all win versus my ice team that's more focused on going against magic units. Now the map that we were playing on was highly against ice because all units had ice resistance up, while all wind units had their magic up. But I decided to go with ice units anyway because I wanted to see how well I could do damage on a neutral level against wind units. But anyway, so we start off with Tifa using her bells, and this was the perfect opportunity for King Khury to do his frostbite on her because I just want to show you guys how much frostbite will hinder units that rely on bells to do their thing. Right now, King Khury is too far away to his teammates, so he's going to cast his Hunter's TP skill onto himself, while Rosa continues to buff up Merrier. I think Rosa and Merrier are a great combo together because Rosa does focus on providing heals and more magic resistance, and Merrier is just focused on that. So here we have Jueme doing her LB, which causes a lot of AP for her, so keep that in mind. And then on top of that, we have more than Merrier doing her LB, which I feel is it's an awesome LB. This is one of the reasons why I pulled for her, because I really did enjoy that LB. So now King Khury did his frostbite, he caught Jueme, and now Jume is under the status condition, so she will not generate any more AP, and because she did her LB, she's stuck on just attack mode and nothing else. So Merrier here is going to try to whittle them down a little bit, but her damage output is not super high because I have her more as a tank. Meanwhile, the Tifa is just going to keep doing her 2-hit combos, which don't hurt too much, but it does build up the chain. So now Khury tries again with the frostbite, gets frostbite again on Jueme, but now gets it on more than Merrier. Sadly, he missed Tifa, and that was very crucial. Like, this Tifa is very dodgy, and I was hoping he got it on Tifa to slow her down because she was doing just strong attacks after strong attacks. More Merrier almost knocked out Rosa here, but Rosa manages to hang in there, and now Rosa is going to try to cast a heal while Merrier finishes off more than Merrier. So now Rosa here casts her Kuraga, heals up both Merrier and herself, and now she procs her reflex for Tifa to miss, and Tifa doesn't do much damage to Merrier, even though I don't have much strike resistance on this team in general. But Jume is still stuck in normal attacks, while Merrier is now also stuck in normal attacks. But Khury here is trying to do some damage to Jume, and that ice resistance on the map is kind of weighing in on the damage here. But we're slowly but surely getting the job done. And now Tifa went after these two because Merrier's hate is gone, and Rosa tried to heal both herself and King Khury, but King Khury moved. She targeted King Khury and he moved, which means that she's going to be casting another heal next to both of them. Now Merrier here is going to try to summon her doggy, her guardian dog, to have Tifa chill, because Tifa is just on an onslaught, just doing as much damage as she can. Got the paralyzation, however Tifa here counters with her ability and removes that paralyzation, and it's like she doesn't want to slow down at all. She just wants to punch everything in the face, like no matter what. Thankfully for me, wind resistance from Merrier's card is helping out a lot, and King Khury was finally able to get Jume down. So now it's just 3 against 1 with not many turns left. I'm going to obviously win this one, but it did take a while to do, and it just shows how much the effects of the map really do hinder this ice team. But I won anyway. I was happy about that. Alright, our next matchup is against a Rainbow Magic team. We have enemy Rosa, Ibara, and the more the Merrier. And although this is a full magic team, Rosa has missile attack type in her kit. Ibara has slash in her kit. And I believe more the Merrier has missile attack or strike attack. I forget which one. I still haven't finished my own more the Merrier, so I forget which attack type she has. But it's one of those two. I believe it's fist because her weapon's a fist, but I could be wrong. But anyway, so we open up with our Shell and Crisis Evasion up while Freya puts up her hate. So they're opening up with the Righteous Prayer, which gives so much buffs on it. It helps you nullify a lot of status conditions, which is why I love Rosa. And also reminds me I have to level up Mashari because Mashari can do similar things. To my surprise, their more the Merrier has Time Mage as a sub job. I guess it's not too surprising because Time Mage is a really good job to have. So for her to be a sub Time Mage, it's not too surprising, but I wasn't seeing it often, so that's why I was surprised. What I was definitely surprised here was the Ibara doing Taunting Blade, which means they had theirs as sub Paladin for some reason. I don't know if that's a good idea unless you're trying to be as bulky as possible. But I don't know. I don't have Ibara, so I don't know how if I would use her that way or not. So Ferreira was able to hit all three, and now Ibara is going to come in and do some damage to my team. But those two were able to take it. Now King Khury's going to come in with her Frost Barrage and knock out more the Merrier. So now it's down to 2. And Ibara's in range to knock out all three, knock out King Khury and hit the other 2 units. Rosa's in a bad spot, but Freya's in a good spot. Like, she's fully healed. So right now, Freya was able to knock out enemy Rosa, and now it's just Ibara, and now Ibara's down. Much quicker match than the first one. Alright, so today's last match is against Helena, Golbez, and Englebert. So I wanted to see how well I can do against Dark Magic. Even though the Golbez was at 116, there wasn't really many other options without repeating. I wanted to try out as many different teams as possible, because that's the best way to do a test. You want to try out against many different teams, not just against your most best matchups, you know. And yeah, this is Magic and technically still my best matchup, but Dark does offer different things that Win and other elements don't have. So let's see how this goes. And this they have an Englebert, so that's gonna be an issue per se. But we start off with our normal buffs, but King Khury's now towards the right instead of the middle, which makes me wonder if he was attracted by hate both times in the last 2 matches, and kind of messed a little bit. Golbez did get frostbite from King Khury, so that was good. But I also wanted to make sure I hit Helena as well, but they're too spread out for frostbite to hit both. It got 1, so I was happy about that. Now here we have Freya doing her AoE attack, and then since Rosa has nothing else to do, she's gonna launch a Holy onto Englebert to do some good damage to him. Now Freya is gonna take this hit pretty decently from Helena, and King Khury finally got off another barrage, and he frostbite all 3 units at the cost of his life. This is an example of why you want to keep King Khury back. If I had a Trust Master that increases range, I would have made sure he'd done that first, and he would stay back and wouldn't be in the line of fire. So on a map like this that's kind of on the middle side and not many ledges, you have to be mindful on what you equip your King Khury, giving him the bow in this case didn't really help out, and a Trustmaster with increased range would have made him stay back even further. So now Rosa's knocked out because Helena says, F you, I'm the queen of all mages around here, and she's doing a number on Merrier. Golbez is in normal attack mode as well as Englebert, but it's enough to knock out Merrier, and it's a loss, but it's a loss that I'm happy with. Final thoughts on King Khury. Although I use King Khury in the all ice team, he surprisingly does well in rainbow teams as also. I tried it out, and he offers a lot in a rainbow team too, especially with his Hunter's Distinction buff, allowing allies to get more attack, magic, and agility. 3 moves that are very important if you're trying to be offensive. Now, to fully utilize him, no matter what team you have him on, you want to put him in maps that either are huge, have wide range, or have lots of height to them, because that's where he's gonna shine the most, and he's gonna survive better that way. The map that I used him on in these matches was kind of on the small end. It was like a medium-sized map, so I feel like I could make him shine better by having him on larger maps. Currently, as I do this video, the guild map for the limited time guild event is huge, and I'm using King Khury, and he's doing a fantastic job. And I'm using King Khury with light units, so this is something that you want to consider. The map is your friend with King Khury. If you use him on the wrong map, he's not gonna survive. He's super squishy. Now, do I recommend EXing King Khury? I kind of do, because he's one of the few units that even have Frostbite. I believe the other unit that has Frostbite ability is Victoria. There you go. Victoria has Frostbite in her kit as well. And Frostbite is not resistant by many units in the game. I believe currently Satya resists Frostbite, and Lumagia, I think that's how you pronounce the name, the Dark Selection unit, he's resistant to Frostbite. But majority of the cast is not resistant at all. Like, it's a neutral resistance. So you really can utilize the Frostbite barrage with King Khury no matter who you pair him up with. And if you decide to do the Bells barrage strategy, that works perfectly against enemy units. And you won't believe how much a battle can turn in your favor the sooner you apply the Frostbite. So I do recommend him, but if you have other Rangers already built up, then he's not a priority. I do recommend you do EX him though, because he's still a good addition to a team, especially in limited events that have huge maps. Just saying. Now, if you EX him to 120, is his 120 skill worth the additional Blossom? Yes. That buff is really good, especially for King Khury to have, since he has access to Emerald Echo, which I feel is a strong support ability for units to have. That's mainly why units with Green Mage jobs are really good, just because of that support ability. So I think it's worth getting that 120 skill for that ability. It helps with King Khury to stay behind also. But other than that, I hope you enjoy this video. And sorry for the delay. I'm gonna have another one pretty soon, because I've been working on Miche. I think that's how you pronounce his name, and he's gonna be the next unit I talk about. So hope to see you then. Catch you guys later. See you guys next time.